Hi everyone, so welcome to this short pep talk. I thought I'd post this because it's usually a point in the program where it's good to reassure people. So if you had not noticed, this weekend we reached the midpoint of the course. So a lot of you are going to feel that we're definitely over the hump and things get easier. You've gone through the adaptation to a graduate course. For a lot of you, it's a first return to studies for a long time. And then in each of the two courses, you have introduction to a lot of material. But as you go past this sort of pivotal point, I think you're going to find that you're much more settled. So first of all, my first message to all of you is that at this point, at this midpoint review, as a cohort, you're doing well. We don't have any worries. Audrey and I don't. And if there's a concern about particular tasks or particular papers, then we'll contact you individually. But as a group and as a cohort, you're definitely doing well, and we are absolutely not concerned. So you can be reassured on that side. The second point is that, yes, we do appreciate that this is an exceptional delivery. Not out of our control. It's not ideal to have two courses online and then to have them spread throughout the summer. Normally, you would be either online with one course, or you would have two courses, but then would have that sort of intense burnout sort of residency, and then the both before and after would be a lot easier. So it has been strange to stretch this, and I do realize that in terms of equity, for those of you who are actually working this summer, it's not ideal. MELM has always been sort of constructed with the presumption that people were teachers mostly, and they would be off for the summer, and that therefore, even if it was intensive, it would be okay because it was your a period with no work. I think that's less and less the case with people doing summer camps and all sorts of other summer employment. So it's something that we, in the next 5-year review, we've just gone through a 5-year review. In the next 5-year review, it's something that we may have to address and look at. For the immediate, obviously, if we are, in a COVID scenario for another year, we might have to actually look at starting a lot earlier and then just having one course online followed by the other course online, and so forth. But you also have to appreciate that we work within a university, so something as simple as changing a start date requires months and months of going through curriculum committee, academic council, and all sorts of processes, which mean it cannot be done on a pivotal decision by, even a school director. So unfortunately for us, we're working with constraints. But this said, as I've said in my first remark, considering the exceptional nature of the delivery, you're all doing really well, and we're very happy. And we certainly have a lot of empathy, Audrey and I, for you in this way you're dealing with this sort of extensive burn throughout the summer, which lasts 2 months. It is the point where you would realize that you would have been in residency for a week, and you would be spending the weekend on campus and then have another week of residency. Now, again, there's a silver lining to everything. It's not great that we're stretching this out for 8 weeks, but also the residency experience can be really intense. And at this point, you would be really resenting the fact that you've left family, friends, and everyone behind, and that you're basically taking 8 hours of class and working in the evening on your papers. And that middle weekend is pretty much just on campus working on papers. So, it's a great experience. I love residency, but students also find that is quite, a hard point. So at least you don't have that weekend. You haven't had that experience last week, and you're not looking to that experience next week. You're in a new normal. For us too, it's a new normal. And I think you're going to find that now you're settled in, and that routine is less painful from this point on. For people who are still trying to find their feet, find a pace, right? I keep reminding you, if you were in the classroom and you were taking 3 hours of lectures, you would not be engaged in every single conversations. You would not be listening to every single thing that is said in the classroom, and you would not sort of be fully engaged with every single issue or discussion or topic going on. You would be fluctuating in and out of the 3 hours, in terms of attention and focus. It's the same online. So I think be kind to yourself. A lot of you are really trying to read everything, tick everything, check all the boxes, and be involved in every conversation. That's not going to happen. Try and think of the degree to which you would have been involved in a 3-hour lecture face to face. It might have been just if you concentrated probably only an hour of active sort of involvement. It's going to be the same online. You're not going to achieve more online than you would have achieved face to face. That's not the way it happens, right? So be satisfied sometimes with the fact that in certain units you are doing, a bit of reading, a bit of browsing, a bit of viewing what people have posted, a bit of posting yourself, and then you move on and you feel really satisfied. At the week 5, which will be at the end of next week, what I will do is I will go into the portal and I will look at every single participant, and I will be able to get a post, a sort of a linear spread of all the posts that you've done so far. That's going to give me a good indication of how you're doing in terms of your participation grade, which is 10%. It's, first of all, it's only 10%, but even if you are concerned, I'm going to flag individually with people if you need to ram up the change gears and maybe be a little more present on the forums. I'm going to do that so if I email you, it's not that I'm singling you out. I'm just going to go through it and then give everyone a bit of heads up, because then you still have 3 weeks to actually be a little more present online. That's the beauty of an online course, is that versus a face-to-face course, there is nothing stopping you in week 6 to go back to a forum in week 2 if you feel that you hadn't been involved enough, and to make up that activity at that point. So in a way, online courses can feel very intensive when they start, but they do give you that huge autonomy in terms of personalized pacing, that you can actually go back now and fill the gaps and maybe reapply yourself to activities that you did not have time to actually address as you were going through it. So that's why I'm going to give you the heads up in week 5, at the end of week 5, if I feel that you need to, again, shift gear a little bit, maybe, but doesn't mean you have to do it in week 5. You still will have 3 weeks ahead before the end of the courses to actually, make up for maybe, not as an intense presence as you've had in some of the courses, of the activities, sorry. Question I'm getting from people: does it get easier in September? Yes, it gets much easier in September. First of all, instructors who teach with you September onwards know that you are involved in school. And so I think the format always systematically, for example, you'll have no daytime collaborate sessions. They'll tend to be in the evening, or at least you're fairly, it's okay for you to request that they in the evening. Mine are always in the evening if I teach during the school year. You will have had all of this residency, sort of discovery of campus, discovery of services will be finished. You will still have access to me through the Melm Hub, but it will be very much as a back channel. I'll be available for one-on-one chats and there if you need any help, but I'm not going to be scheduling sessions and taking up your time. And then you'll be with Ryan, who's taught this for a very long time, and he's going to be able to take you through that process in a very sort of, again, self-paced sort of mode. And I really don't think any of you are going to find it's strenuous September onwards. The only time when we get a little bit more friction again is in 560, so the course that you are taking on technology, which happens in June of 2021 now. And sometimes we have people who are VPs or who have administrative jobs who find it really, really heavy with the closing of the school year. But again, we're used to it, and we'll give you the flexibility that we can when we get to it at that point. So, but during the year, as I said, from September to June, I rarely have really, any feedback from students that they are feeling that it's so overwhelming that they can't actually do this, with an ongoing job. And that's the beauty of Melm. Because if you were taking a master's in any other university, traditionally, you would be assumed to be taking more than one course at the same time. And that's what's unique about our program. So starting September, it is that unique Melm delivery where you never have 2 things to focus on at the same time. And then you get that 1 week break when you can forget completely about Melm between each courses, and then you focus on the next one again. So that's the answer is yes, it does get much, much, much easier from September. Just appreciate the fact that this is it's a COVID situation, basically. It's not ideal. You're all doing the best you can, and so far you're all doing very, very well at it. That's about it. I'm finished. I'm going through my list, and I've finished my list. If you have any questions, contact me. I had some of these tutorials this afternoon. There's more sessions, and I'll open more if you want. that's an important part of getting again that one-on-one contact. I really like them and I don't mind them. And people are almost apologetic when they're meeting online, but you don't have to be apologetic. That's what they're there for. So it could be a simple question, it could be a more sort of intense conversation, it could be clarification about something. Use that time, because that's what's going to enable you all the way online to feel that you're connected and you're getting the answers that you need. So if you have any issues before the end of the courses, book yourself on a one-on-one and we'll be able to address those questions. So this is really a motivational sort of little pep talk. It's you're going through something exceptional. A lot of you are coming back to graduate studies after a very long break. Entering graduate studies is always difficult because of the level of conceptualization, because we're never going to be satisfied with just descriptions. We're going to ask you to go beyond the appearances, to look at dichotomies in concepts, contradictions, conflicts in ideas and positions in theory. You're dealing with this very well. We're not worried about you as a cohort at all. And continue the great work. And as I said, it does get easy. Oh, that's maybe one of the things I wanted to add, is that I think in both Audrey's case and my course, we are structured in a way where there's a lot of introduction of new concepts, and in Audrey's case is theories. But as you go into phase 2, which is the last 2 unit for me, and I can't remember how many units in 501, you'll see that the work becomes more in depth. So it's not so much about new concepts, it's about now applying a lot of these concepts to your personalized context and to your reality. So it's also, I think students find it easier in the sense that, yes, it's still a lot of work, it's a lot of reflection, some writing, but you're no longer juggling new concepts. At this stage, you've really been introduced to everything you're going to be introduced to. And it's about seeing how this applies now in terms of implementing it in your reality and being an agent of change in your own context. So a different shift again in when we, the allegory of driving, changing gears too. It's maybe a little more sort of, downhill now, and it requires a lot of attention, a lot of work, but not in terms of, that sort of overstimulation of having too many things that are offered to you. It's now really much a matter of applying, implementation, seeing these concepts in context. So I think in that respect, you're going to find it easier as well. So wish you a good Thursday night. If you're on a different time zone, you may be already hitting bed. But tomorrow's Friday. Celebrate. It's important to celebrate your accomplishments, your midpoint. Really important to tap yourself in the back. You're halfway through. You're doing well. Continue good work. And if you have any questions, contact us. Okay. Have a good weekend and enjoy it. Bye.